views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
But tonight's event is dedicated to the memory of Marion Waltz. And she and her husband, Jim Getz, have been running for like the last 50 years, Friends of the Third World, which is part of our sponsorship for the RiverDrums Festival.
Watching the folk dances, I see a lot of similarities with some of the dances from many of the other indigenous nations, which I've had the pleasure of spending my time with. It's just really amazing to see those like cross-cultural similarities.
Thank you. Okay, so I do have a couple of moments of business. Our food truck that's out there, in case you haven't partaken any lovely things out there, is staying until 9 o'clock. So you have your opportunity. The other thing that happens at 9 o'clock is the silent auction wraps up. So if you were thinking about bidding on something, you should go over there. There's so many great things over there. Bakshi's Martial Arts has got, I think it's like a free month over there. There's Prince, there's still an Applebee's gift card. I mean, there's lots of things. So, and now we're going to introduce Adam Riviere. And last year, he met the Burmese Peacock Dancers. They were two separate entities, and they liked each other so much that they decided to do, would you say a fusion?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna hand this to you, but it's really hot.
All right, yes, I know. It's red hot. All right. So I was like, you folks.
Mingalava, Mingalava She, Mingalava. I am so proud to be able to be here at the annual famous RiverDrum Festivals as part of the Burmese community. And this year, it is special that we are going to have a fusion of the Silk Road. How many of you know Silk Road? No. So this dance and history and storytelling will travel from the Far East Asia to Asia and Middle East. Yes, Adam? So my name is Smyaji Nandar. I am a nurse practitioner, and I am coming here with another peacock, Nima Ton. She is a lab technician, and we are so proud and honored to be part of this RiverDrum. Nima, want to say hello? Oh, hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Thank you so much.
And hello, I'm Adam Riviere. Came all the way from Indianapolis to accompany my good friends who came all the way from Chicago to rock out here. And I run a recording rehearsal studio in Indianapolis called Playground Production Studio, and I've been a part of RiverDrums for quite some time. As I said earlier, accompanying the Middle Eastern, or Manatsa, like Middle Eastern, North African, Hellenic, which is just a fun way of saying Greek, and Turkish like style dancers. And I've said earlier, got the opportunity to meet these lovelies, and we know there's a lot of similarities in our the culture with like music, a lot of the influence, like I said, the Silk Road. Even though it's a Silk Road, but yet there's actually a bunch of different routes, both on land and sea, and to where a lot of the culture, especially when it end up like in Iraq, like in Baghdad, it's like that Middle East or like the Arabic culture, they were, and still today is like sponges and taking all this information, all this, from music to history to literature, language, everything was blending, and it still continues to fuse all this information here to be better, to make music, to definitely make food better, and all the stories and everything else. And so you'll hear a lot of similarities from the music that you hear from Burma, as like on the music that's going to be played, as well as some of the rhythms, or the Arabic word for rhythms is ikaat, that you'll hear together. So you'll hear some possible influences from that. So I hope you enjoy the music, the dances, and the instruments, to where, again, in the Arabic language, that instrument next to me is called tabla, which a lot of you know the Indian tabla, but in Arabic, the word for drum is tabla. And the oldest instrument, the original drum leader of like the Arabic percussion ensemble is, believe it or not, was the Arabic tambourine, and it's called the rik. And it wasn't until about 1900 where that started to become more of the prominent and leading instrument. But this was the main leader, and even some of the most well-known singers like Kulthum relied heavily on her rik player. So, and hopefully today we're going to be relying on each other on this fun fusion, and we're going to do a little demonstration, show a little bit the influences and fusion and the similarities, and I hope you guys really enjoy it.
So the story started like this. We're going to talk about two peacocks from the far, far east. Once upon a time, peacocks lived peacefully and happily in the land of their ancestor. One very dark day, a force engulfed the peacocks. Many of them fought for their freedom, respect, and dignity. Soon after, the brutal storm hit the land of the peacocks. Peacocks were uplifted away from their homeland. Two peacocks, Nandar and Nima, finally landed on the ground in the land of the free and home of the brave. Thank you for welcoming us. So when you travel from far, far east, from the very old, ancient empires, the road is hard and long. Don't you agree, Adam?
Oh yes, that was extremely one of the most dangerous routes, but gave us the most fruit for, well, food and knowledge.
And culture. And we all have our own similarities and differences. And we all bring our uniqueness and different culture, beliefs, practices. Don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Like all the wonderful different cultures, the celebrations, and the joy of finding more reasons to celebrate each other.
So the second part of the Peacock Dance, it is combined with quite a number of Burmese traditional orchestra instruments, such as lots and lots. There are, in a real Burmese orchestra, there are 14 drums, leather drums, several wind instruments, string instruments, and several like drums made out of bronze. So this is second part. You're gonna get a fusion of a wild Middle Eastern drum and a Burmese orchestra. Are you ready? What is your favorite Burmese food? I don't know any Burmese food. What is your favorite Indian food? Tikka masala. Okay. What is your favorite Chinese food?
Kung Pao chicken.
Ooh, this is more to try. And I thank you, and I hope to see you next year.
Yes. Thank you so much for having us. And again, as you heard, so like even with some of the music that was going on, you can hear that one part to where it's like when it got a little bit faster, that little break, you know, dun, 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 dun. It's like dun, dun, dun. You'll hear that music or that type of groove a lot like in Turkish and Egyptian music. Like you'll hear that a lot. And even a fun bit for like the wonderful, like even the Greek dancers that were here earlier, that little rhythm, there was one song, it was actually in 7. It's like, you know. That's also part of a very, very popular music compositions form in Arabic music. And so, again, you can feel just the sense of, again, like starting all the way from East Asia. And again, Burma was one of the main routes, like the southwest route for the Silk Road. And that ended up all the way, you know, going through like the Middle East and even out throughout like Western Europe as well. And again, but the Middle East when itself was more or less like a hub where all the roads kind of like came, especially in Baghdad, where they kind of connected. So like in Baghdad, you would get everybody in all these different cultures, you know, from, you know, East, Central, Western Asia, and the Middle East, and then even parts like, you know, throughout the Mediterranean, like in North Africa, would connect and meet like in Baghdad, and this is this is all the way back to like the 9th century. So this has been going on, and just the connectivity and those relationships have existed for so long, and even to some degree we've not really lost some of the history, but we've kind of not recognized of just how closely related a lot of these cultures are, and how much they, you know, they supported one another both in that commerce, you know, that commercial way, but also like culturally. And there's a lot of that mezcla, that mixing, that blending of all the cultures, and it always gets really good conversations at the dinner table of, especially in the Middle East, when you try to come up, you know, who makes the best hummus? And I'm more of a baba ganoush guy myself, but still, I appreciate some good hummus.
Appreciate you, and thank you for staying until the end of the dance and nobody actually leaves. So that's a good sign. And I'll see you next year, everybody, and thank you. Woo!
All right, hold on, you two. Are you continuing to drum? Or no?
I can keep on drumming. You want to hear some drumming?
Yeah, boy. Here, do drumming, then we'll set up down there.
So in Arabic drumming, it's like there's no, all the traditions, there's no sheet music. Everything was taught orally. So if I say doom, what do you think that is? Is that the bass tone or high tone? I'll just take a guess. I'm not a music teacher, I ain't gonna fail you.
Bass tone.
Bass tone, doom. Tech, that's the high tone. So let me hear you say doom tech, tech doom tech. Okay. Doom tech, tech doom tech. Pretend like you're at an Arabic or a Greek restaurant. Let's go. Come on. This ain't the opera. Let's make some noise here. Hey. Hey. There we go. There we go. And for Arabic, say yalla. Say yalla. There we go.
Hi, this is Jody at RiverDrums 2025, and I am with
Miyaji Nandar. Miyaji Nandar.
and
Yeah, my name is Al.
and
Nimato.
and they are part of the Burmese Peacock Dancers. You look beautiful. Everything about you is beautiful. Yeah, you too. You are beautiful as well. Yes. Yes, you are welcome.
We did.
Very good. So, what inspires you to do what you do?
So we started, it's not an organization, it's a little small group. It's called Burmese Peacock International. We want to represent our culture, traditions, history, and our values and cultural practices. And we also want to learn the land who hosted us, your culture, your traditions, your values, and your practices. So we would like to exchange understanding and values, etc. But in the same time, we want to share ours. So we started a theme called Burmese Peacock International, which actually help us bridge between communities.
That's amazing. And quick question, how do you hope to inspire others?
We unite and admire and respect.
Well said. Yes, Adam Riviere. This year, Adam and the Burmese Peacock Dancers, this is Adam Riviere. Yes. Hi, Adam.
Hello.
And they actually, this year, they met last year, and this year they did a fusion of their art. So the question for them was, what inspires you to do what you do? What inspires you to do what you do?
That is a very excellent question. I've always been really inspired just by people in history and culture. I've been very blessed to meet so many beautiful and lovely people from around the world, and music, or as one of my first drum teachers told me, he goes, drumming was designed and meant to help, to make people dance.
Yes.
And be able to be a part of that celebration was always like inspirational. Just the community, the connectivity. It's fun. It's just very filling. You get lost in the joy of the music, the art, the history of it, and the people you get to do it with.
Yes. Right.
And what do you hope to inspire other people to do from your art?
I think just to learn more about themselves and others. As I've been blessed with meeting so many wonderful people, and I had a mentor when we got years ago. He said, "Learn the history and the culture behind an instrument, and the rest will take care of itself."
I've never heard that, but I love it. Thank you so much, and thanks for being a part of RiverDrums.
Thanks for inviting
Yes,
us.
thank you. Thank you.
See us next year.
To be on track, we encourage all out there to love and to become as one, to